Today we actually have two crochet patterns for you because we're working on my Daisy Granny Square bag. So I'm going to show you how to make the Daisy Granny Square as well as make a regular Granny Square. It might look like they're triangles, but they're all squares. It just depends on how it's seamed and sewn together. That's what makes it look cute. So I should probably get into the tutorial for y'all, huh? We're gonna do the daisy one first, and then I'll show you how to make the second one. But if you don't know how to make a regular granny square, and you don't want to make a daisy one, in the description below there will be like timestamps that you can click on, and we'll have the daisy one set separately from the regular granny square. So yeah, let's get to crocheting. Oh, and just to let you all know, on a little sneak peek, we do have this daisy mesh bag coming out soon, so keep this video saved or bookmarked or in your toolbox, whatever it is that you want to save it, because we will use the daisy from this pattern for this one as well, so make sure you have that saved. Okay, now we'll get on to the crocheting. Okay, so here is how I make a regular double crochet granny square. You can make granny squares in whatever stitches you want, it really doesn't matter, but double crochet just tends to be the most common way to do it, so that's the way we're going to do it today. I'm just using some Basic Stitch by Lion Brand, and then a 5mm hook for this one. Just use whatever yarn and hook you are working with. So I'm going to do the magic circle method instead of doing like a chain 3 and make it a circle, because I don't like the loop that leaves in the middle, or the hole that leaves, so we're going to do it this way. So all I do is I have the tail in my right hand, the working yarn in my left, and I just loop it around my fingers and hold it tight. And then I take my hook and I just pull that loop through the circle. And then keeping it in a circle, it kind of takes some like hand coordination, which is a little tricky and why people tend to not like it. And then you chain 2. And now you have your magic loop. If this takes you a couple times, I promise it's worth it. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to double crochet 2, and we're going to pull this loop a little bit tight, and this is your first quote-unquote granny stitch, the chain 2 and the 2 double crochets. And then you'll chain 2 and you'll make 3 more double crochets, and then chain 2 and make 3 more, and if I crochet too fast or my tutorials are too fast, there is a bottom button, I believe, let's see, it'll be like right about here on your screen. Just click on the settings and you should be able to change the playback speed. So I recommend doing that if this is a little too quick. And after you make that 3rd granny stitch, you're gonna chain 2 again and make your last one, which is 3 more double crochets. And then we'll chain 2, and we're gonna slip stitch right into the top of the first chain 2. And then you'll chain 2 more to create the first stitch for your second row. And I just pull my circle. Now this will loosen up as you work your granny square, or it can. You'll be able to tighten it and then seam it at the back to keep it from loosening up. Some people have a hard time with it, so they'll put like a drop of super glue, or they'll take a felting tool and felt the back of it, whatever works for you. I haven't really had a problem with it coming undone, but I might just seam it differently than others. I put knots in my crochet, so I don't mind. Anyway, we'll chain 2, and then in this space, the chain 2 space, we're going to double crochet twice. So then we have our 3 stitches. Now we're not going to chain, but we're just going to double crochet in the next corner. And then we'll chain 2, and in that same stitch, that same corner, we're gonna do 3 more double crochets. And this is how you make a full corner in your granny square. And then we're going to repeat that for the other 2 corners. All right, and then for this last, because we already have 1 in here, we're going to go back to this beginning corner and we're going to put 3 more double crochets. And then chain 2 and slip stitch into that first chain 2. Then chain 2 more, and here we go. So we have the first round and the second round done. And now we'll start our third. So for here, instead of working back in this stitch like we did on the row below, I did that to keep the stitches tight together. Now and it works quite well here. And then for this stitch, you can just work in the same where that chain 2 is. And that's okay. Or you can work back in the corner. Either way is a perfect option. Now in this space that we created that doesn't have a chain in it, we're just going to put 3 double crochets. So anywhere there is a space open, you put 3 double crochets. Anywhere there's a corner, you do 3, chain 2, and 3. And you can repeat this for as big as you want it. So if you want to make a regular granny square, I recommend doing 5 rounds. And that's what we do in my Daisy granny square bag. If you want to do a blanket, you can just go on and on and on and on until it's as big as you need it to be. It'll be a square, but it's as big as you need it to be. You can make a lot of things with granny squares though. Bags, cardigans, pants, shorts, skirts, sweaters. I've seen granny square, well, blankets of course. I've seen granny squares on wall art and in different decor and in kids clothing, so there's a ton of different options. And the fact that you can make them any color you want, you can change colors the whole time, it doesn't really matter how you make them. It's all individual and unique, and I think that's a really cool part about granny squares. All right, so we're in that last corner. And then we'll chain 2 and we will slip stitch right into the top of the chain 2. You can do a chain 3 as well if you like, if that's your preferred beginner to anything. I know that some of the people watching this will be quite experienced crocheters, some will be beginners. So to the beginners, there's no right or wrong way to crochet. But yeah. And then you'll just continue going on. So we'll do one more round and then I'll show what it looks like as soon as we're done. And there is your granny square. So like I said, you can go up and keep making it as big as you want. You can make it as just a couple. You can change out the colors. But yeah, that is how you make a basic double stitch or double crochet granny square. First up, we are going to grab the yellow and we're going to make the inside circle. And I have a couple pieces of them. So we're going to make this part of the daisy. All right, so to start this, we're going to make a magic circle again. So take your yarn, wrap it over your fingers, and pull the loop through, and then chain 2. And then we're going to put 11 double crochets in the magic circle. And then for the next part, we're going to take our hook and go into the top of the chain 2, and then we're going to grab our white yarn and we're going to slip that together. All right, and then in the space between the chain 2 down here and the first double crochet, you're going to yarn over twice, and we're going to make a treble crochet. So you'll yarn over twice, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And we'll do that one more time. We're going to put 3 treble crochets in here, and then this is where it might seem a little scary. We're going to pull our loop up a little bit and take our hook out, and we're going to go in the top of the first petal that we made, and then put our loop back on our hook, and pull it through. So we cinch those together. And then we chain 2, and we go right into the next space, and we make another set of 3 treble crochets. And then we'll just continue this in every spot around until we have 12 total petals. All right, we've got our daisy all set up. All 12 petals are here. And then we're just gonna take our next color yarn and make a little slip knot. And you can join it wherever you want. So I'm gonna join it right where my original join is, just so I can keep my tails together. Chain 2. And then in the first stitch next to it, so on the other side of the petal, we're going to put 3 double crochets. In the next stitch, we're going to put 3 more double crochets, and this will be the first side of the square. So we're turning this into a square. In the next stitch, we're going to make the corner. So that's 3 double crochets and a chain 2 and 3 double crochets all in the same stitch. And then we're going to put 3 more double crochets in the next stitch. Sorry about that weird break in the video there. We had a bunch of sirens and things go by, so I just paused for a minute. And then in the next stitch, we're gonna do 3 more. And then we're gonna make another corner. And 3. And 3. And then another corner. And then we're going to make another side. Gotta get my yarn, it's all trying to tangle itself still. And then where we started is where we're gonna put our final corner. And I forgot to close that last petal, but that's okay. And then slip stitch to the top. Now you have your daisy square. And then you'll want to keep going one more round if you're making my daisy granny square bag. If you're just making a bunch of granny squares, you can leave it here or you can keep going. So you would just continue making the 3 sets of stitches in between on the sides, and then your corners you're going to do the same exact way. So we'll do this first part just so you can see it, in case you're a visual learner. And if you are more of like just reading it, I have all of that over on my website as well. And that's just linked below for you. And it's free. You don't have to pay for it. You can if you want to, but you definitely don't have to. But yeah, this is what the start is. So you do 3 and then a corner, and then you'll do 1, 2, 3 and then a corner, and you'll just continue that around. All right, and then there is the finished daisy granny square. Yeah, and these look great. Once you block them, they look even better. It really stretches everything to really show the shape of it. But even unblocked, they look awesome. So yeah, I hope you like this little tutorial. Like I said, the written version is over on my website. But yeah, if you have any questions, just send them my way. Leave them in the comments or over on my website. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!